surprise horse is guessed. The oaks are a test. Can I keep my
Hey guys, it's Mid Model Horses. Emma's here.
Hello.
And I'm gonna try and film my top 10 video for like the 5th time. I love all of my horses equally, it's just these are cool. Okay, so for number 10, we have Desatado. And he's just so pretty. Like, look. This is Desatado. Yeah, he's just like super pretty, and I love the Desatado mold. So I knew that I wanted to include like at least one on the mold. So this is the one that I picked. For number 9, we have this horse, who I don't think he has a name from Briar, but he was like the little Indian pony they came out with in 2014. And like I think 1 in 6 of them were chalky with Indian markings or like war paint. Mine's not that variation, but I still love him so much. Like, I don't know what it is about this horse that I just adore. But my mom got him for me. I love him. Number 8 is Kali, and I really like the Aspen mold. In Briar Fest 2017, she was the only special run I came home with. And there's just something about her like color and stuff that I just really like. And she's super fun to show, so that's kind of like why I picked her to be in this video. And that's why she got a lower spot compared to some of the other horses. But like, this is something a color Briar doesn't do very often. Number 7 is Champagne Toast. And the moment I saw his picture for Briar Fest 2014 promos and stuff, I fell in love with him, and then I got him, and then I fell in love with the mold. And now I have a bunch of them, and he's started the addiction, and I've taken him to every single show. He's only placed like twice in his life, and I've been showing for 6 years. But I still take him because I love him, and I just want everyone else to love him too. I like all of these a lot. That's the problem I'm having, is like the order number doesn't really matter at this point because they're all loved. This is my Glossy, can you tell it's Glossy?
Yeah.
My Glossy Pop the Cork from Briar Fest 2014. And he was the first Glossy that I ever pulled, and he was also my favorite variation at the time. All the Pop the Corks are just so pretty, but I was really excited when I opened him because I was like, this was the one I wanted, and I got him in Glossy. And every time I look at him, I just remember how beautiful he is in his staples and stuff. Yeah, so it was pretty obvious why he made it up in my top 10. So next, for number 5, is Mango Capac. And like when I first started collecting, he was like my holy grail. If a 13-year-old had a holy grail, it was Mango Capac. And I think he was some sort of like collector's pick horse, and he's just so cool. I feel like everyone still needs a Mango Capac. He's just so different from all the other horses on the mold. I really like all these horses a lot, so I'm gonna sound repetitive. Number 4, we have Forever Sage. So I kind of picked Sage as like the representative of all of my Sages because she's like my favorite mold tied with Othello. I like them both a lot. And it's just when I first saw this horse be premiered, I just immediately thought of my own horse, and I ended up doing custom of her on this mold. But just like her sassiness is unreal, and I love it so much. So that's why I picked her over like my Glossy Twin, just because, I mean, she is just so sentimental to me with that respect. She also has cool pattern. It's like, I don't know. Okay, next we have this horse. 2015 surprise horse. The Quell Surprise. And this is the Glossy Carmelo Perlino thing. And when I first opened him up, I almost threw up because I hated him so much. And then I pulled him out of the bag and I saw he was glossy, and I was like, now what am I supposed to do with this? And I'm pretty sure I walked around with him in the Clarion like asking for people to trade, and no one wanted to, and I'm so glad that no one did, because he's made it up to my top 3. Like, there's something about this horse that my brain can't get enough of. I don't know what it is. I think it's his sock. But he has like shimmery flecks in his this gloss, and he is just so good. And we're coming up to my top 2, which I'm sure if you guys know anything about me, you've guessed so far. Oh, okay, hello, I have Briar. He's made it up to my top 2. I don't know, again, why this horse just makes me want to quit the hobby and be content with my life, but he does, because he's just so perfect. I don't know if that made any sense. But I don't know, his markings are just very cool. I love his blue roan coloring. His face is like got a lot of white on his face. I really like that. Yeah, he's just so cool. I know Emma's not the biggest fan of him, but I am. And someone has to be a fan of him, right? He's got blue eyes too. Okay, and then my top favoritist model of my collection is Silverado. I mean, like, I think for obvious reasons. Like, 1, he's a connoisseur. 2, he's gorgeous. 3, he's an Othello. My favorite color on horses is a silver bay, and that's what he is. Like, if I could make up my own Briar of anything, it would be this color on sage. Like, he is just so perfect and awesome. And mine's like super light and matte, and most of them are very dark and kind of semi-glossy, like kind of shiny. So I just really like mine for whatever reason, I don't know, but oh, he's so pretty. I feel like sometimes I forget how much I like him because I paid so much for him. Like, you pay so much for a horse and you're like, I want to feel this overwhelming love, and I do, but then I get reminded by the fact that I paid a lot of money. But I still really like him, and I don't regret spending the money at all. That was my top 10. Go watch our music video! Because it's really great and fantastic. And then stay tuned for our quarantine hauls, because when Briar Fest was announced that it was canceled, we started buying horses off the rails. So we have a lot of stuff. If you can
it's gonna be bigger than a normal Breyer Fest haul.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. Also, if you can see my eyeball, I'm so sorry. I squeezed my head and I popped a blood vessel.
While we were recording 7 Rings.
Yeah, it was like right after the last scene, and we put it all together, and Emma was like, what if this fails? And I squeezed my head and I was like, I will end the world. Yeah. Quarantine haul's next. Briar Fest actual special run models, we will do a video for those too. Oh, and we're almost at 1,000 subscribers, which,
yeah.
Do you know what that means? I think Bob has to get signed. Bob! I just scared him.
Who enjoy the same hobby, drain all the local ATM machines, spend too much money on plastic ponies.